Hi students, welcome to PhD Jobs and Admission. This is Gauri. So in today's session we are going to see Pondicherry University's PhD Entrance Test Research Methodology Subject Preparation Tips and Tricks. So in today's session we are going to see different PYQs of research methodology of PhD Entrance Test at Pondicherry University. So after viewing this session, your concepts and your understanding of research methodology will get more clear, and as well you will get an clarity exactly what type of MCQs you will be getting asked in research methodology section of the PhD entrance test. Okay, so now let us begin with this session. So students, as you know that there is PhD entrance test at Pondicherry University, under which they will ask you 50% MCQs on research methodology and 50% MCQs on concerned subject. So all the students have to score 50% marks so that they can qualify the PhD entrance test. So to qualify this PhD entrance test, we provide you research methodology complete course. By the use of this course, all the students can guaranteed score 50% marks in research methodology. In this complete course, we provide you full syllabus video lectures under which theory and MCQ lecture series are available. We provide you full syllabus notes and mock tests. So we have basically 10 mock tests, and each mock test contains 40 MCQs. That's why overall you can solve 400 MCQs. So all the students can check their preparation by solving the mock tests. We provide you more than 1500 MCQs revision PDF as well. By the use of this revision PDF, all the students can revise all the topics in a single PDF, and that's why they will get 80% MCQs from this PDF only out of 100% MCQs in the research methodology section of the PhD entrance test. And all of this study material will be available in both the languages, that is Hindi and English. So students, if you want to buy this complete course, then you can either download the Global Online app from the Play Store. For that I have given the link in the description box of this video, or else you can contact me through these WhatsApp numbers. The course fees is only 699, and in this low fees we provide guaranteed selection to all the students. So students, this research methodology complete course is nothing but a revision package to all the students, and that's why this is really helpful to all the students to get more scores in research methodology section itself. Okay, so now let us begin. In statistical analysis, correlation coefficient is the range between. Now in the statistical analysis, what is the range of correlation coefficient? Whether it is 0 to plus 1, minus 1 to 0, plus 1 to plus 2, minus 1 to plus 1. Now students, this is very easiest question, and it has asked you in 2018 year. So students, correlation coefficient is nothing but a statistical technique through which you can measure the strength and direction of linear relationship between two variables. Okay, so the ranges of this correlation coefficient range between minus 1 to plus 1. Whenever there is minus 1 range, then it means that there is perfect negative correlation between the two variables. When there is plus 1 range, then it means that there is perfect positive correlation between the two variables, and when there is 0 range, then it means that there is no any correlation between the two variables. Perfect negative means two variables has negative correlation. If you increase the value of one variable, then another variable will decrease its values. In positive correlation, both the variables have positive correlation. It means that once you increase the value of one variable, then another variable also increases its value. Okay, so that's why students, this actually ranges between minus 1 to plus 1. That's why here your correct answer should be 4. What is the range of Pearson's correlation coefficient? Now students, they have asked you about the range of Pearson's correlation coefficient, whether it is minus 1 to plus 1, minus 1 to 0, 0 to 1, none of these. Now this question asked you in 2019, and Pearson's correlation coefficient is nothing but the correlation coefficient itself that we have seen earliest in the question 1. Okay, so students, now you can understand that most of the questions are repetitively going to be asked in each year. Okay, Pearson's correlation coefficient, also called as Pearson product movement correlation coefficient or Pearson correlation coefficient. Okay, Pearson correlation coefficient. So students, this ranges between what? -1 to +1, as we have seen in question 1. Okay, so the similar question they have asked you in 2019, but instead of correlation coefficient, they have asked you Pearson's correlation coefficient, but both of the concepts are same. Okay, so students, apart from this, we provide you Pondicherry University PhD Entrance Test Paper to Study material. By the use of this study material, all the students can guaranteed score more marks in paper 2, that is in concerned subject. So in study material, we provide you full syllabus notes and MCQs. So in the MCQ section, we provide you most expected MCQs and PYQs. By the use of these MCQs and PYQs, all the students can guaranteed score more marks in paper 2. Paper 2 study material fees are 999, and in this low fees we provide guaranteed selection to all the candidates. So students, the subjects that I have shown on this screen, on all of these subjects we provide currently paper to study material. If you want study material for any other subject, then you can ask me in the comment box. To join courses, you can contact these WhatsApp numbers and you can do the inquiry. So students, this paper to study material will be helpful for your entrance test as well, and as well for your interview session, in which examiner will ask you different questions about your concerned subject. Okay, following is not the example of test. Now they have given you different options. From these options, which is the option which is not the example of test? Test means statistical test. Okay, so now let us see the options: chi test, t test, pi test, f test. So students, all of you now familiar with some statistical tests, and there are two types of statistical tests. One is parametric test and another one is non-parametric test. So within the parametric test, there are different kinds of assumptions, and whenever the data fulfill those assumptions, then we can do the parametric test. But within the non-parametric test, there is no any kind of assumption about the data. Okay, so from these options, chi test means chi-square test. Okay, and this is the non-parametric test, and by using chi-square test, we can measure the difference between observed data and the expected data. Okay, t-test is the parametric test. By using the t-test, we can measure the mean differences between two groups. Okay, f-test is again a parametric test, but from these options, pi test is not any kind of a statistical test that we can use in the research methodology. That's why here your correct answer should be what? 3, that is pi test. The research participants are described in detail in which section of the research plan? Now, in which section of the research plan research participants are described in detail? Means the information about research participants are described in detail. Whether it is discussion section, method section, data analysis section or introduction section. So students, within the research plan, there are lots of sections like introduction, then research method section, in which we provide the information about data collection methods and data analysis methods. Then there is result section, right? So these are the different sections that are there in the research plan, but there is only one section in which we provide all the information about research participants, like how we have collected the data from research participants, how we have encouraged the different participants to get in the research study. Then as well, different characteristics of the research participants are described in detail in that research section. So that research section is nothing but method section, because in the method section we provide all the details about data collection methods and data analysis methods as well. So within the data collection methods we provide information about different sampling techniques through which we have acquired different participants in the research study. As well, we provide information about the data itself basically. Okay, that's why here your correct answer should be what? 2. According to your text, which of the following is not a source of research ideas? Now from these options, which is the option which is not a source of research ideas? All of the above are sources of research ideas: practical issues, past research, theory. So students, source of research ideas means a source from which we get the idea about the research question. Okay, for that we need to do the research so that we will get answers to those research questions. Okay, so if you see all of these options, then you will understand that all of these are the sources of research ideas. If you see some practical issues, then from the practical issues you will understand that this is the problem in the practical, and from that problem you can identify the research ideas or different research questions. Okay, these research questions need to be solved. Then from the past research as well you will get some research ideas. From the theory itself you will get some research ideas, you will get some hypothesis. Okay, that's why here your correct answer should be 1, that is all of the above are the sources of research ideas. Okay, which of the following is not a type of research question? So now from these options, which is the option which is not a type of research question? Developing a good research practice, then a hypothesis, then evaluating a phenomenon, then predicting an outcome. So students, type of research question means a research question itself. Okay, so this could be a research question, and for this research question we have some kind of a idea in our mind and we need to solve this research question through different research methods. Okay, so if you see all of these options, then you will understand that hypothesis is not a research question. Okay, because hypothesis is a proposed explanation for any kind of a phenomenon that can be tested through further investigation. So this is not a research question. After identifying and formulating a research question, then we make up a hypothesis. All of you getting? That's why here your correct answer should be what? 2. And if you see other options, that is developing good practice, then evaluating a phenomenon, predicting an outcome, all of these are the types of research questions. Okay, probable error can be used only when. So in which situation we can use the probable error? Data is drawn from normal population. Conditions of random sampling are prevailing during selection of samples. Neither for data nor for random sampling, then both for data and for random sampling. So students, this probable error is a statistical measure, and we use this to estimate precision of sample statistic. Okay, basically we use it to measure the precision of sample statistic. Okay, so basically this is calculated as the product of standard error of statistic and constant factor, and this depends on level of confidence desired. Okay, so this probable error is used when data must appropriate to bell-shaped curve. Bell-shaped curve means that the data should be normally distributed. Okay, it should have a normal distribution, it should have a symmetrical curve. Okay, and as well probable error is computed when statistical measure is taken from sample. Whenever this statistical measure is taken from the sample, then in that condition we can use the probable error, and as well the data should have bell shaped curve. So in these two conditions we can use probable error, and as I have told you earlier, probable error is used whenever we need to measure the precision of sample statistic. Precision of sample statistic means the values in the sample statistics are accurate or not. Okay, whether those values are are the outcomes of the research results or not. So to measure that we need what? Probable error, and that's why here your correct answer should be what? 4, because both for data and for random sampling we can use probable error. Okay, so here your correct answer should be what? 4, because in first option there is only normal population condition, in second option there is only random sampling condition, in third option both of these conditions are not there, but in both of these conditions we can use probable error. That's why here your correct answer should be what? 4. Concurrent deviation method is associated with. Now from these options, which is the option to which concurrent deviation method is associated? Quantitative measurement, qualitative measurement, variables of qualitative characters, and correlation coefficient of variables of two qualitative characters. Okay, so students, now let us see first of all what is this concurrent deviation method. Okay, so this concurrent deviation method is the method that we use to study direction of change in two paired variables. Okay, so whenever you need to study the direction of change of two paired variables, then we can use concurrent deviation method. So this concurrent deviation method is not useful whenever we need to study the magnitude of change, but whenever you need to study the direction of change, then you can use it. Okay, and also this is denoted as RC. Okay, and it is calculated based on the number of concurrent deviation between two series. All of you getting? So the number of concurrent deviation between two series is the criteria on which you can calculate the concurrent deviation. Okay, that is RC. So students, as you have seen that you can study the direction of change in two variables, right? And that's why you can't use this method in quantitative measurements, because within the quantitative measurements you need to study the magnitude, right? That's why first option gets eliminated. Okay, so the remaining options are what? 3 options, that is qualitative measurement, variables of qualitative characters, then correlation coefficient of variables of two qualitative characters. So now here you are going to study the direction of change in two paired variables. Paired variables means there is some kind of a correlation between the variables, right? That's why here your correct answer should be what? 4, that is correlation coefficient of variables of two qualitative characters. Qualitative characters because you are studying the direction of change, and correlation coefficient of variables because here there are two paired variables. Okay, which of the following procedures tends to minimize the influence of random errors on measured results? Now from these 3 procedures, which is the procedure that we can use to minimize the influence or effect of random errors on measured results? So whether it is signal averaging, use of internal standards, averaging the results from multiple samples. So they have given you different options, 1 only, 2 only, 1 and 3 only, 3 only. Okay, so students, random errors occurred because whenever you do some errors in the selection of samples randomly from the target population. So to minimize the effect of these random errors on measured results, we can use 2 methods or 2 procedures, and those are signal averaging and averaging the results from multiple samples, because both of these methods, if you see, are exactly similar to each other. Okay, but the procedure that we do is basically different. So within the signal averaging, what we do, so basically in this method we take multiple measurements and calculate their average to reduce impact of random errors. So what we do, we take the multiple measurements of the variables, and what we do, we calculate their average. We calculate their average so that we can minimize the effect of random errors on the measured results of the variables. And within the averaging the results from multiple samples, we do similarly this thing. Okay, in this method basically, okay, the results that we get, okay, so basically because of these results we can basically minimize the influence of random errors on measured results, and we do this by increasing the sample size. Okay, by increasing the sample size. So if you see averaging the results from multiple samples, so exactly the similar procedure we are doing in signal averaging, but within the signal averaging we do different steps, but in this method we do different steps. And here the main criteria is that we increase the sample size. Because of increasing this sample size, we can minimize the effect of random errors on measured results. Okay, and within the use of internal standards, what we do, so in this basically it control basically different sources of variability in measurement process. So there are lots of measurement procedures, so within those measurement procedures there are somehow sources of variability, so we can control these sources of variability in use of internal standards method. Okay, that's why here your correct answer should be what? 3, that is 1 and 3 only. Objectives of research and development costs include. Now students, what is the objective of research and development costs? Maintaining present competitive position, improving enterprises competitive position, exploring new market and products, all of these. So students, research and development cost means what? Research and development is nothing but a long procedure through which we can basically do most of the things, right? We can improve enterprises, everything. We can improve its product system, we can launch new products, we can improve the cost of the product, right? That's why by doing all of these we can maintain the competitive position of company or enterprise, we can improve the enterprise's competitive position, we can also explore a new market or new products because of the research and development cost, right? So all of these are the objectives of research and development costs, and that's why here your correct answer should be what? 4. Because of the research and development we can do everything, we can improve everything. Okay, that's why all of these are the objectives of R&D costs. Okay, that's why here your correct answer should be what? 4. So students, thank you for watching this session. I hope all of you understood everything whatever I have discussed with you in this session. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment box. Okay.